Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Majin. I am doing a tarot reading on the whole debacle between Candace Owens and the Macrons. I basically, as what I understand, the Macrons are the leaders, or at least Emmanuel Macron is the leader of France, and there has been a lot of rumors and speculation around the gender of his wife, and one of the people who has been kind of like spreading, or I would guess say fanning the flames of these allegations, is Candace Owens herself. She has been going around everywhere telling people that she does not believe that Brigitte is a woman, and that I believe her story is allegedly that Brigitte is not a woman. Brigitte has groomed Emmanuel Macron, is actually his father. Emmanuel Macron's father, allegedly, that she practiced incest. It's a whole rabbit hole. And I also know I was hearing another person I thought who was in the same friendly sphere with Candace Owens, speculating that the reason why Candace is doing this is that she is being paid by Putin or Russia in order to go after the Macrons, because the Macrons, or the country of France, has been kind of like thwarting his plans and been a thorn in his side with this whole war that's going on in Ukraine. So I wanted to get into this reading and see what's really the truth. Is there some truth to this? Is it just a bunch of bullshit going on here? Like, what's really up with this? Because it seems a bit crazy, but we've heard crazier things and then they turn out to be true. So, this is all alleged for entertainment purposes only. I am simply doing this as a curious viewer, like the rest of you all, as somebody who is wanting to understand what may be the outcome of this lawsuit that the Macrons have pursues against Candace Owens, and if there is any truth, or some inkling to why Candace Owens is doing this in the first place. Because a lot of people feel like she's going after the bag, because since she left, that wasn't Tucker Carlson. What is that Jewish guy's name? I forget. I don't think that was Tucker Carlson. I'm getting them mixed up, but I know she was with somebody's media company, and she was let go like soon after um the whole like war between Israel and Palestine broke out, and she was saying, anti-Semitic things, and the guy was like, "Yeah, you no longer can be with my news corporation, so you have to go." So some people think she is simply just chasing after a bag, because we have discovered Russia has been paying for other media sources, anchors, talking heads, to kind of help per perpetuate or present a certain talking point, or a narrative, in order to make themselves look better. So I don't think that's too much of a stretch. So yeah, let's see what we get in this reading. I was hoping to do this one live, but as I said before, I am traveling at the moment, so this is going to have to do. I'm going to have to do a video for you all, and hopefully it does not ruin your viewing experience. With all of that being said, again, exercise your power of discernment. Please understand that tarot is not the end all be all. You should not use it as your only source of, of forming some kind of mental, legal, financial case about something that you have going on. This is all entertainment. I'm just as curious as you are. This is based off of my intuition. So if there's something that I say that does not resonate with you, great. Let's talk about it. I'm not going to be 100% correct. I'm human. I'm allowed to get things wrong. And if you're okay with that, we can proceed forward. If you're going to be somebody who is already against tarot as it is, you don't like it, you don't believe in it, and you're here just to kind of like throw eggs, please exit. So let's see what I'm going to get here with this reading. I think first things first, let's pull the string on why does Candace believe that Brigitte Macron is not who she says she is? Why is she going after this so hard, laying into this? Okay. Let's see what we have here. We have the Tower and the Upright. The Page of Cups in reverse. We also have the Hanged Man in the Upright. And then the, can I do that? Yeah. And then we also have the Sun in the Upright. What is she wanting to reveal? Okay, so I think whether or not Brigitte is a woman is not top of mind. It kind of feels like she's wanting to reveal something else. There's something else that she is wanting to expose, but this was kind of like the carrot that she dangled in order for them to bite and to discover some other things. What is it? Something else I'm trying to, another perspective, looking at something differently. Maybe looking at something more closely. Again, the sun to me usually speak of like revelations, revealing things coming out to the light. It's no longer hiding in the dark. It's being exposed. It's being out towards the forefront. The Tower and the Upright to me just seems like something that was unavoidable. Eventually, this was probably like the low hanging fruit. I don't really care. It does to me. It doesn't really matter what the outcome is. This was kind of just like the low hanging fruit to make it easier for you to bite. I'm not sure here. The Page of Cups here as well coming up in reverse. It's like emotional manipulation to me, emotionally gaming in some sense. It's kind of like what I'm getting. And then we have for the underlying energy, we have the Two of Pentacles in the upright. Either she has money and is not worried, um, or somebody is funding this or something. It's kind of like money is not the problem. Money is not the issue. We also have the Temperance in reverse here. So something kind of being out of balance. I also think of like falling off the wagon. Sobriety may be another thing or something like that. It's what is that? And then the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords here. Can anybody inform me in the comment section if whether the Macrons do they have like a powerful benefactor or somebody behind them? Like, like if you don't know, like here in the US, we always say, oh yeah, the president's like the shadow puppet. It's always like a shadow government. It's people behind him that's pulling his strings. And most people will say, they're pointing at like the corporations and the billionaires, the ruling class, the 1% that's like putting money in his pocket in order for him to do in order for the president to do their bidding. I don't know if it's something similar like that in France. So I wonder if it's something here like maybe somebody is trying to figure out like is it campaign finance or something? Like, who's funding your campaign? Like, who do you have? Who's the power player behind you that's like running stuff? Um, I'm hearing bigger fish to fry. Like, sorry. I'm gonna throw that back in here because that was an accident. My hands are slippery from the oil I put on earlier. Justice, yeah, there's some legal matters here. Oh, sorry. Ooh, what's this? Strength. Interesting why the strength card pops out. Is rich. Okay, when I'm getting intuitively, again, is that the carrot and the stick trick, and it just kind of feels like Brigitte isn't the main target. I feel like maybe it is going after Macron and maybe whoever is behind Emanuel Macron. But I don't know. She's kind of playing like some kind of emotional psychotic warfare here. I don't know, or it's like psycho warfare. What do you call that? And she's playing something like that with Emmanuel Macron here, and knew that Brigitte was kind of like the weak link. I'm going after the weak link. That's what's coming up here for me with the strength card. Intuitively. I don't think she much cares if Brigitte is a woman or not. I don't think she really cares. At least from what I'm getting in the intuitively. Allegedly. King of Clubs here, also coming up in reverse. Something about the past. Is it past legal matters? Past interactions with the wife? I'm because with the strength card I got like what was gonna be the easiest route to kind of like infiltrate and get on your radar. And so I took the emotional psychoanalyst warfare route, and I'm gonna go after some things that, people could feel like it's true. People could think it's true. And then it will kind of force you to have to defend it. I'm not sure why this King of Clubs is coming up, but something makes me feel like it's a player I am not aware of, or it's somebody in the background. I'm not sure. I mean, it probably could pertain to Brigitte or Emanuel Macron, but I feel like it's somebody in the background. Let's see what else is coming up here. Oh, what was the underlying energies I said here? Ace of disc. Again, something it's again, I feel like is are they she trying to hone in on like who's financing them or something? Like why is the coins kind of like coming up here? Um I'm sorry, I'm trying to see if something else is gonna come out. Okay, yeah. And then we have the 10 of staffs here. So again, that's like feeling over encumbered, letting something go. Heavy burden to carry here. What is that? And then we have the swords, the 5 of swords. That's again to me that's kind of like infighting, mental attacks. She kind of feels like a evil mastermind in this situation right now to me. Sorry. Or evil genius. I don't think the legal matters really scare her. I don't think the money scare her. I feel like she wanted to go after Emmanuel Macron for whatever this reasoning may be, because I'm not really honing in on the reason. I don't know if it's like discovering who's been backing him, or she's been wanting to lay into him for something that was probably going on behind the scenes, like some discourse they had going on behind the scenes or something. I don't think she really much cares if Brigitte is a woman or not. This feels like this is going after Macron and maybe who it's or Emmanuel Macron. Let me stop saying Macron because I believe both their names is Macron. That's their last name. After Emmanuel Macron because of, his running of the country or whoever is behind him in some sense. To me, it's not clear exactly why she's doing this, but it does feel like there's been some intentionality. Right now, it just kind of seems like pettiness that I'm picking up on. Like she's kind of like poking the bear to see how far she can go with this and if she could annoy him. Maybe she's doing all of this for clout. I don't know. Her personal reasons. It just kind of feels like she's doing it for clout. Social engagement, rest. Yeah, is she doing all of this just for clout, for notoriety, for to say, hey, I was getting sued by, is he called the Prime Minister of France or whatever? Like, passion. Underlying energy here is we have the stranger, information, mail, some kind of lettering. This probably could also deal with legal matters again as well. And then we also have success. Yeah, she is enjoying this. She liked this. This is what she wanted. And then here's another thing here dealing with something with past things. Remember, I don't know what it is exactly. The 6 of Cups is memory. I don't know what it is from the past she's exactly trying to dig up here. Something from the past, some kind of past connection, maybe some past information here. Maybe that's why she's doing this. Okay, let's see here. The next thing is we're going to look into whether or not Candace is doing Russia or Putin's dirty work. And then we'll look into the result indicators and wrap it up from there. Also, like the 3 big questions. And let's see what we get here. Not counting these. as follows. That Page of Cups is coming out again. That Page of Cups is coming out again. Take that how you want it. I don't know Putin or her husband's or Emanuel Macron sign, but that's usually dealing with a water sign here. Your Cancers, your Scorpios and Pisces, and also going to probably deal with somebody who's emotionally immature is another thing that kind of comes up for me with that as well. Um, think about like a Cancer who feels like sanctified in how they feel, and they feel verified in how they feel. Two cards are coming up the same from the first reading here, but this time the Two of Pentacles is coming up in the reverse. I think this one's coming up opposite of how it appeared the first time too. Oh, Ace of Pentacles was also another one too. I think that was the underlying energy, wasn't it? Hmm. Y'all, is it something to do with the Ukrainian war? Is this something? Is humor me, humor me, humor me. Is there something? Is there maybe something? Okay, okay. Is there something here that maybe some of the finances or money from France is being used in the Ukrainian war? And I don't know what the economy is like over in France, but if it's anything like what it is in the US, is there something here where possibly the uh the French people would be upset that X amount of money or these resources are being sent elsewhere? Meanwhile, okay, I'm channeling. Okay, I'm channeling. So this is all alleged. I want to say that now. Is there a overarching thing here of like how dare these, if they were to find out, or if there is a speculation around, is there some funding or resources, some kind of materials or something like that that's being sent over to Ukraine on behalf of Emmanuel Macron or something like that? And if the French people were to find out, they would be really upset because there's something that they could be using here. That maybe the economy is kind of constricting within itself. It's kind of tight, and also issues with like immigration or people who are like, you're not from around here, you're not French or whatever, you're invading these spaces and taking up these jobs, these corporations. You're funding that out there instead of fixing what's here at home. It feels sort of something similar to what's going on in the US. I don't know exactly what's been going on in France. I haven't been keeping up with it. So I do feel like there's something with that. Because when I see the Six of Wands, especially with it coming up in this celebratory way right here, it very much feels warlike to me. That there could be something with the war, and mainly because of the financing, this Ace of Pentacles here. Even if it's just a little bit, this Ace of Pentacles is something that's coming up here. This feels to me like a wrong financial decision or choice was made. And that could possibly lead to some kind of uprising or trouble. The Page of Cups, again, I don't know if this is pertaining to Macron or Putin. I don't know exactly who, what, when, where, why this is popping up here. But again, this could also probably be representative of the French people. Like, not saying they're emotionally immature, but just kind of like very tapped in, very can be, switch with the wind, kind of like energy here with this Page of Cups, if things were to be known. So yeah, and so the underlying energies we have here is the Two of Cups. Okay, and I will put this on the record wholeheartedly, knowing how some people will be like, you're being stereotypical, but this is giving me this is giving some let them eat cake. I don't know what it's giving, Marie Antoinette and that kind of energy, like, oh, here we are again in another situation because of a couple. Like I could very much see them branding them as like the modern Marie Antoinette. And who was her husband? Was it Henry? Peter? I don't know. Paul? I don't know. Um Ooh, that Ace of Swords. And then that Nine of Pentacles in reverse. It's not in the upright. Ooh. Is it destroying their marriage? Is it something trying to disrupt these two? Does Brigitte has the money? Is this like a two couples I think of here? I think of like Hillary and Bill Clinton. Like Bill Clinton had the swag and the soft power of like having the ambiance, the face, the gift of the gab. But Hillary Clinton had the money. There's also something like I think of with the Obamas. Like, oh, Obama had the swag, he had the look, he was able to put himself out there. But it was really Michelle who had the connections and the resources. She knew the people. I don't know if this is something similar with Brigitte and Emanuel. And also look what's coming up again. Something about the past. This could also speak to childhood as well. I don't know if there's something with children involved in this, but yeah, Six of Cups here. It's coming up in the upright. That Six of Cups seems to come up constantly. Note the three, the Tower, the Knave of Coins. Yeah, some told me to look at this, and also the Four of Cups, but it's coming up in reverse. This is dealing with home. Knave of Coins, the Tower. I feel like this. I do think this is some political motivation, but I'm not getting it. More so, it's pointing from Putin. I'm more so getting like it's something to maybe move the Macrons out the way, and that could very much be what Putin wants. I don't know who would political adversaries the Macrons have or friends have that would want to remove them, but yeah. And you know something else is making me think of. I'm thinking of a few European leaders that have been removed from their positions of powers recently, and I wonder if there is some kind of smear campaign or something in trying to consolidate some kind of form of power here. Because now you're going after the Macrons. I think of, oh my God, what was his name? I think he was the PM soon following the Brexit incident. I think he was was he Indian? And then it was the what's his name? Boris, I think. I'm probably butchering a lot of names here. Give me grace. I'm sorry. I'm trying to remember. And a lot of these people were pushed off the stage because of like some sort of like indiscretion or people not being able, or at least their citizens not being able to accept them for the lack of work that they were doing. I'm also thinking of the of Trudeau, like he's recently been poached. Like I don't know where all these webs is coming from, but I feel like there was something to note here. Okay, let's see here. We also have the Seven of Coins popping up here and the Queen of Swords. That King of Cups is something. It's yeah. Emotional, emotional, emotional. This does feel like psyop. Yes, that's the word. It does feel something kind of like mm, psyopish about this. some kind of messaging, some kind of trying to control the narrative around something, or trying to present a certain narrative around something, create a narrative around something. Look at one of the cards here first. Okay, there's a lot no one's about that. Okay, I guess not. Oh, wait. The Knight of Clubs coming up here. I'm going to put these three cards to the side because this is the underlying energies. I will read them in just a second. But again, we have the cuppy, the emotional energies that's coming up here. And it's not coming up in the best of light here as well. We do also have the Three of Swords. So, Three of Swords, I'm trying to remember. Three of Swords, I'm trying to picture it in my head. I'm not well practiced, well versed with the Versailles. So sometimes I have to remember the main imagery that I get for it sometimes. But for the Three of Swords, I want to say the Three of Swords oftentimes, okay, so this is after you've made a tough decision. Is it anxiety? Because when I think of swords, I have to go back to it. The mental emotional thing here. I said something psyopish about this. The best way you can manipulate people is get to their emotions, and then you sprinkle in some a bit of true facts here. You grab your red string, you make the dots, you draw the conclusions and connections for them, and next thing you know, you created a whole, yeah, you've created some kind of alternate messaging, alternate agenda for people, even though it's probably also just as much facts that you have, or let me quote this, as much facts that you have about something to point to a certain narrative or a direction. There's just as many facts that points to the other side of that. Like, yeah, yeah, the cognitive dissonance. I would say I'm to me, it's not clearly jumping out that this may be something that's connected to Russia, but I would say more than anything, I think this is very much connected to like a smear campaign and some. It feels like a smear campaign. I don't know how to say it, and it does feel like some kind of psyop. It does feel like in a way Candace is doing the dirty work in order to go after the Macrons, to overthrow them in some kind of sense, or to highlight or point out some things, or to get some information that she can later talk about, like, hey, I found out about this and this and this when we were going through our legal proceedings or something like that. Like, I could very much see that being a thing. That's more so what this feels like to me. This may be alluding to a bigger picture that I'm not seeing, that I'm not picking up on, but it does feel like, or at least I'm not connecting it to somebody, but it does feel like much it's connected to a bigger narrative on, like, we want the French people to see something that we see, or that we believe, we have an inkling that's going on, and we want to like pull the wool back. We want everybody to see it, we want to expose it, we want to look a little deeper, and this was one way to do it. And if going after Brigitte and alleging that she is not a woman and that she's in incestuous affairs with Emanuel Macron, and to get him to kind of step out here and feel like he has to be macho and step up for his wife is going to be the way we get in, so be it. This is how we're going to get the information. That's what it feels like to me. And then going in here, we have, what is this, the Eight of Cups? Yeah, moving on, leaving on from something, leaving something behind. And then we have that Knight of Clubs again. That was some energy that was coming up earlier for the underlying energy. Again, I don't know who this is alluding to, but this is also coming up in reverse. So this just speaks to me of like somebody who's, it kind of reads like trickster, manipulate, trickster energy. Yeah, that's the best way I'm gonna say it. Mixed trickster, mischievous kind of energy that I'm picking up. Then we have the Nine of Cups, wishes being granted, wish fulfillments. You know, those ideas, the hopes that I wanted to happen are going to succeed. The world, something incomplete. This can also probably be something that's not yet exposed. I also think of that when I see the world coming up in reverse. And then I have the Three of Coins here. This is speaking to a partnership, collaboration. This could speak to some kind of contract. You know, some kind of resource exchange. Take that for what you will. I am just reading the cards, okay? Again, this is all alleged for entertainment purposes only. I'm reading the cards from what I'm picking up on, and you can take it for what you want, okay? Well, this is a much more interesting read than I thought it was going to be. I thought this was probably going to be a bunch of hogwash. Change. I think of evolution, revolution here. History also repeating itself when I see the change card, the wheel, this water wheel here. Things being cyclical, things happening again, stepping into a moment of disruption. We also have, if y'all don't know, the King of Spades, when you're playing cards, loosely translate into the King of Swords. When I think of King of Swords, I think of tactician like energy, somebody who is very purposeful with their words. They cut quick with their words if they wanted to. Somebody who is outplaying everybody. Someone who is very smart, very informed, very tactical, very. Is it raining again? Very purposeful in how they go and address things. Just think of like a very acute businessman. Okay, and that's also speaking to think of the energies or the personality traits of like the Aquarius, the Libras, the um Geminis around you. You know, they can speak very well, very fluent, or you know, they can be manipulative with their words like a Libra. You know, Aquarius very cold, unemotional, unattached to things. You know, and then we also have the Rebel. Y'all, I think it's pointing out here what it's saying. It's pointing out here what it's saying. Satisfaction, underlying energy, home, disrupting that home. That's the second time we're getting something there. Home to me feels more like country. And I was granted an opportunity and I took it. Take that for what you will. Okay? I am just a girl in the world flipping around cardboard, trying to provide you with a message. This is all alleged for entertainment purposes only. I am also of good mind and good health. So, yeah. Lastly, let's see what's going to be the result of this case. What is going to be the result of this case? Ooh, a lot came out. This is going to be the result of this case to Candace Owens and the Macrons here. Can you shed some light? What is going to be the results here of this case, this lawsuit between Candace Owens and the Macrons? The world card here, false victories. I did see the moon card, but that wasn't the one that initially flipped over when I was shuffling it. So I'm trying to see if it's meant to stick. And what's going to be the result? Case. Case. This makes me feel like screw it. I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna say it. This makes me feel like overall, it feels like not overall. It feels like the legal portions of this case. It feels like Candace is going to lose on. However, it feels like she's also going to win in this. The Seven of Pentacles, this false victory here, like the devil in the upright. It feels like she's also going to win in this because this, whether she win or lose, that wasn't the whole purpose of her engaging in this lawsuit and the rhetoric and stuff like that that she entered into with the Macrons in the first place. She very much had an ulterior motive in this, whether it was for notoriety, whether it was highlighting something with the French leadership, highlighting something to the French people about their government. It just feels like that was not the purpose of this case. So yeah, I may have to pay out something, or I can't speak on Brigitte or something like that. Like I may lose on that, but I very much also feel like there's going to be certain things that the Macrons are going to lose out on in this, in the same way. I don't know if it's going to be like they're losing credibility. They're going to lose what they call it. They're going to lose control of the narrative or control of their government or something like that. It doesn't really feel like um it doesn't feel fulfilled or like, yes, this is the outcome that we wanted to happen. It feels very much like, yeah, legally I may have lost on paper, but you know, when it comes to the grand scheme of things, that I really lose because I got all the information that I wanted. I got the clout that I wanted. I was able to speak out on something. This wasn't the whole intention and purpose for this in the first place. So you feel hook, line, and sinker for it. And I got the information that I wanted and this whole discovery or whatever during the process for this case, for us building this case. So judgment. I'm okay with the judgment. I'm okay with feeling judged, being judged, judging you, you judging me. I don't care. It could be dealing with all of that. We also have the Five of Pentacles here. Yeah, I may be ostracized from certain circles, but now I'm not anymore. Maybe I'm welcome to the table now. I got what I wanted. This is the fortune. And then we also have that Four of Cups coming up in reverse. To me, that speaks of like, you're so big, you're so focused, you're so busy being focused on what I'm telling you the reason is, that you don't see on the other side here what the real reason is. And the Seven of Wands, losing a battle here. Yeah, yeah. It kind of feels like you took the bait, Macron. I'm sorry, it seems like you kind of, yeah, you. And I don't know why they did this. Why even do this? What made you feel like you had to do this? I don't know if maybe this was leading to you losing control or losing face amongst your citizens or something, or in front of your wife. I'm not sure. Maybe that's something I also need to pull cards on. Yeah, you know what? What's the reason why he went into this lawsuit? Sidebar. It seems like ego. It seems like ego. He didn't like the negative press. Um, yeah, maybe he did feel like it was kind of making him look soft or losing control about something. If I can go after some regular citizen in America and go after her, I don't know if maybe it's also something dealing with her husband. I don't know. No, I think her husband's from Britain, right? I don't know if that's also something to deal with it. I felt like that was something that was coming up, but it just kind of feels like I see King of Pentacles, King of Wands here, Judgment in the reverse. It feels like, yeah, it felt like I'm losing face. I didn't like this negative attention. I didn't like that, a lot of ego and stuff is involved in this as well. Some kind of abuse of power, proving a point. Cheers. One, is we have the Two of Wands here. We also have the Six of Wands here. You thought you won? You thought I was feeling you? That boy is a munch. Justice coming up in reverse. You thought you was winning. You thought you had me. You thought this was gonna work. It's not. You made a stupid choice. You made a stupid decision. You shouldn't have did it. Three of Swords. The Queen of Swords. And the discard for the underlying energies. Again, to me, energetically, intuitively, it just feels like, yeah, Candace Owens may owe money. She may lose legally the battle here. But when it comes to, I guess you're going to say like the court of public opinion, when it comes to the media, when it comes to maybe even like I'm using this very loosely because I don't know what the word is, but like the morality of this case, she wins. Decisions. That boy's a liar. You didn't need him. Look at what else. Love and relationships. Is this something going on with their relationship? Or is it her relationship? Let's look at rehab, because both of these are two married individuals. I don't know if this is talking about Candace's relationship or marriage, or if this is talking about the Macron's relationship or marriage here. Maybe it's not really speaking to that at all, but I just kind of find it very funny. Decisions, love, and romance, like with the cards that popped out here for what's going to be the result of this legal case. Is it going to be shedding light maybe on something in their relationship? Okay, sorry, that was crazy. Can I get some more card spirit? And what's going to be the results? Peace, salt between Candace Owens and the Macrons. What's these two that's sticking out to the side? Memories, again, things from the past. Travel. This also speaks to kind of like planning, pre-planning or something here with the Two of Wands. I know they did at least file the lawsuit. It was at Delaware. I think that was Delaware. So I don't know if there's a thing here where it's getting you out your comfort zone. You're not at home, you're here. So is it more room for things to be exposed? I don't know. I don't know what that is. I'm spitballing here, to be honest. I'm not really picking up on exactly why that's coming up, but yeah. Yep, that travel card is one to come out, so there we go. And what's the last one? Love. Something that keeps coming through for me, though, it just kind of feels like you're in America, the rules of law, the rules of courtesy that you're afforded in your homeland or in France or something like that, it's not going to be afforded to you here. That feels like something that's coming up for me. I don't know exactly what exactly that's alluding to, but that's something that's coming up. We also have restrictions here. No, there isn't no restrictions. No, that's not going to be barred. No, this is not going to be stricken or removed. That's going to stick. We also have, I don't know who the stranger is, but this is dealing with basically you can say like page or knight of swords here energy. So then we also have the apprentice. Again, this is alluding to kind of like that page, that knight of disc energy. I'm tired. I'm not gonna read any more on this. I mean, I think I've given it all I've got, Captain. I'm gonna need you all to comment down in the leave your comments, your inputs, what your theory is. What do you think the outcome is? If it's something here that I spoke of or alluded to, or maybe that you can shed some more light on, let's talk about it down in the comment section, because this was a more interesting reading than I thought it was going to be. Again, I thought this was going to be a bunch of baloney, a bunch of malarkey, and I'm starting to feel like there is definitely something bigger at play here that I'm not quite tapped into. I'm not honed in on all the way. At least it feels like I'm not. I don't think I am. But yeah, I would like to know what you all think. If you're somebody who's kind of really politically minded, or if you've been watching some things on, you can shed some light, share with the rest of the class. Or shoot me an email if you don't feel comfortable sending it on YouTube. That's understandable. So with that being said, I wish you all a great night, a great afternoon, a great morning, wherever you are. Thank you so much for watching this reading. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, you are always welcome to give it a thumbs down. Please share if you like this as well. Also, make sure to subscribe so you can see the next time I upload, maintaining that notification bell. And yeah, I have nothing else to give you. Good luck, Candace. Good luck, Macrons. You know? Yeah. Bye.